The perfect activity to keep your kids quietly entertained at church or in a restaurant is this quilted tic-tac-toe board. I chose to make my X's and O's with my embroidery machine, but you could do this part by hand. For the actual game board, we're making a 9-patch quilt block. I cut my squares 5¼ inches and just sewed them all together square by square with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I sew them into rows and then sew my 3 rows together, giving me the perfect square. Press your seams so it's nice and flat. You can use any type of quilt batting for this. Mine is a high loft polyester. I am quilting along all of my seam lines just a 1/4 inch from the seam, but you can do any quilting design that you like. Then go ahead and trim away the excess batting. I made some little handles just so that you could carry this around easily. I used a 3-inch strip, folded it in half, then took the ends, folded them to the center, folded it in half again, gave it a good press, and sew along both sides of your strap just as close to the edge as you can on both sides. Those turned out pretty cute. Just set them to the side. For the backing, just take a coordinating fabric. I wanted a little pocket so you could hold the letters in it, and so I took a strip of fabric. I am sewing it into a tube, and you can make this pocket any size you want. My finished pocket ended up being about 5 inches. So you have the top of your backing. I am sewing it down just on the bottom. The sides will get sewn when we sew the whole thing together. I centered my handles and did stitch them down so that they'll stay in place when we sew everything together. Lay your fabrics right sides together and sew a 1/4 inch around the whole thing, leaving about a 2-inch gap for us to right side this out at the end. I didn't worry about the extra length on the pocket that I have sticking out because I just cut that off, cut away on the corner so that you have less bulk, right side it out, and look, it's totally coming together. I gave it a press and did a top stitch around the whole thing to close up the opening, and this turned out so cute. I had a new fat quarter bundle of patriotic fabric that I just thought would be fun to turn into this tic-tac-toe board. And so now I'm thinking I need a new one for every holiday, and actually my letters are kind of neutral, so I could transfer those to a new board if I ever wanted to make it into a new theme. But I think my kids are gonna love this.